What is going on, everybody? It is Fitz back here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 mods we need to leave in 2022. Now recently I put up a poll on my Instagram and I asked you guys, what are some mods we need to leave in 2022? I've come up with a list all from you guys, so without further ado, let's get right into today's video. The 5th most voted mod to leave in 2022 is going to be Underglow. Now this is a surprising one for me, as Underglow has recently made a comeback, with some companies like Low-Glow, for example, recently stepping up the LED and Underglow game. It makes it way more appealing. The main thing I'm trying to get at is when it's installed wrong or when it's installed on a stock car. Like a lot of other mods, they need to work together. If you're just gonna throw mods at a car and hope it works, trust me, I've done this, it does not work. It's really a great idea to start with the end in mind as far as choosing your build and what you want it to look like, and starting with Underglow isn't the best option. So here are a few examples where it's done right. As you can see, the Underglow is almost the icing on the cake. Now there are various different styles of Underglow, rock lights, accent lights, etc., but there is just no excuse to have them on a stock car. And most of the time, when it's on a stock car, it's installed wrong. While Underglow appears as a mod that you should do first, it's quick and easy, it's really not. It takes a lot more time than you'd think, especially if you want to do it right, which I'm encouraging you absolutely should. So do not do Underglow unless you're gonna do it right. I've seen it installed with scotch tape, staples, self-tappers, wrapped around control arms, on the very bottom of your lip, very visibly under the back bumper. Like, it is very clear when somebody half-asses their Underglow or just doesn't know what they're doing. So I would encourage you guys, if you are going to do Underglow, take your time, do it right, and probably start with another mod. The 4th most popular or unpopular mod that needs to be left in 2022 is bandanas on side mirrors. Now, bandanas can sometimes add a touch of color to your build, but honestly it seems like kind of a fad. It was pretty cool in the beginning when all the super static street cars were doing it, especially if it was like, again, the icing on the cake to the build, but then slowly a lot more people started doing it, and eventually they started showing up on commuter cars. Now it's to the point where they look trashy, they're associated with shit builds more than not, and that's why it's the 4th mod we need to leave in 2022. Don't get me wrong, when I had the R32, I was definitely thinking about putting a matching bandana on my mirror. With my GK Repadors, I had a nice little hole to tie the bandana around the mirror. But the more I thought about it, the more I looked into it, I decided to hold off. And like I said, it was cool in the beginning, but it's definitely one we just need to leave in 2022. The 3rd most requested mod to be left in 2022 is going to be tinted taillight. Clear taillights got a pass this time. I don't know how clears made it through, but when it comes to tinted taillights, this is something that should have been left in like 2013. Now, I get it. Tinted taillights are one of the first mods that you look into doing. There's a couple different ways of doing it. You got your can of nightshade, you're ready to go to town, you got some masking tape, it's cold outside, you're gonna send it anyways, and yes, that is going to tint your taillights. A better option is gonna be the eBay taillights. I'm not recommending either of these because they both end up making the car look trashy, and I've honestly never seen smoked taillights make a car look better. They're always associated with eBay builds, and that's just not really what you want to be associated with. And when I say tinted, I mean smoked tinted taillights, darker, nightshade, etc. If you're going for more of a Euro style tail that might not have any clear in it, maybe just all red, or maybe you're going the complete opposite if you're going with all clear, both of those in my opinion still look amazing and can improve your car. But as for tinted taillights, man, leave them on eBay, leave them in your shopping cart, probably take them out of your shopping cart. And if you still have nightshade on your car somehow, bro, go get some alcohol, go get some acetone, and trust me, your car is gonna look much better in 5 to 10 minutes. On to our 2nd most requested mod to leave in 2022. Scrap wraps, camo wraps, and 50/50 wraps. Now I know that's not just one mod, but they all go together. Scrap wraps are where you literally just cut out a whole bunch of vinyl and stick it on the car. These have gotten popular because wrapping itself, while it's not very hard, it's very tedious and there is a learning curve. I'm a victim of this. I did this to myself way back in the day when I had the E90. As you guys can see, white and red scrap wrap. I thought I was the hottest shit on the block. I remember seeing Steezy Cultures was Audi A4 who did it first. He was kind of the first one to do it in the area, and then I did it shortly after. It was not fun being called Steezy Culture 2.0, but you live and you learn. If you guys were going to wrap a car, I would definitely just take the time, do it piece by piece, and learn to wrap your whole car. While wrap is still not quite as good as paint, it is much more cost effective, and it's definitely something you can do yourself with limited materials. As for camo wraps, I just think of straight like Forza camo wrap. I've never really been a fan of these. These have always just not looked that good. They're kind of tacky. None of the colors are really great ever. It's either like forest green, woodland ass camo, or there'll be like chrome camo, which is just beyond, it's just beyond me. And lastly, as for 50/50 wraps, these got real popular, I'd say a few years ago. If you guys remember the Camaro that had a 50/50 wrap, a couple different marble cars, they just got very, very popular and very overdone. So while I'm sure there's still a couple good examples left, most of the time now when I see a 50/50 wrap, it is just not it. On to the #1 voted mod we need to leave in 2022. Drumroll. Splitters on economy cars / attached to your bumper. Now, let's learn a little bit about splitters. Splitters, from a racing standpoint, from a handling standpoint, are supposed to improve the handling of your car. The whole point of a splitter is similar to that of other aero. It's to build up a lot of pressure over the splitter, over the front of the car, forcing the front of the car into the ground, giving you more traction. Now, another thing we so commonly see is when the splitter rods, you know, the little plastic eBay things people get, they're almost always attached to the car's front bumper, which is not gonna do shit. They're probably gonna fly off anyways. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been there as well. Not so much as with a splitter, but with ABS plastic, side skirts, or a rear diffuser. Honestly, there's no shame in putting an actual splitter on your car, but trust me, your mom's 2015 Hyundai Tucson passed down to you is not a good platform to start, but that is a whole nother topic entirely. It really surprises me how many splitters I've seen that are just clearly so fake. Like, if you like the aesthetics, get a front lip. Do something else instead, but don't try to pull off the look using a splitter. Now we have some honorable mentions for mods that need to be left in 2022. The first in our list of honorable mentions is going to be Surikawas. Again, these were pretty popular a couple years ago. If you don't know what a Surikawa is, they initially started when people would pull them from subways in Japan. Some people like to hang them on the back of their car to show how low their car is. They drag, they grind away, and they basically become a half moon, or if they're shaped, half of the whatever shape it was. They're also considered an interior styling piece, so people will hang them from your visors, your oh shit handles, or pretty much anywhere else in the car. Sadly though, they've started to be associated with eBay rep shit builds. They're a very cheap mod. You'll see them on stock cars with nothing else done to them, and honestly, they just are now kind of cheesy. Don't get me wrong, I had one of these in the E90 as well. As for personal growth, we're doing pretty good. I get it. If your daughter likes it, if your wife likes it, like, okay, maybe. But you, I'm talking to you, it's probably time to take the Surikawa out of your car. The next on our list of honorable mentions is edgy stickers. I don't know what COVID did to everybody, but there has been a massive influx of the ultra cringe, ultra edgy, hard, death, depressed, depression brands. I'm sad. .jp, right? Like, there's a very big difference between a nice, clean die cut and edgy, cringy die cut. All right, you guys can pick them out. You guys can tell them apart. You guys know which ones I'm talking about. I'm not here to shit on anybody's brand or anybody's creativity. There is a very big difference, a very real difference between the, okay, cool style, maybe a metal font, and oh my god, depression, I want to die, blah. Like, if that's how you feel, you need to go talk to somebody and take those stickers off your car. Next up, we have drift liveries, and I have liveries in quotation marks. Like a lot of other mods, liveries should just be a supporting mod. In order to rock a good livery, you must have a good car in the first place. You need to build your car without even thinking of a livery at all. If you have a clean car with good supporting mods, chances are you can get away with a livery as a final touch. There's kind of a gray area here where liveries go from scrap wraps to drift liveries. If they're done well, I'll consider it a livery, or if there's enough of it. And you don't need a full livery. Sometimes you can just have clean supporting decals, whether it's a pinstripe or maybe the early 90s, 2000s drift liveries, but some of these drift liveries turn very quickly into scrap wraps. Or if there's not enough done to the car, if the car is stock, if it's just got shitty mods on it in the first place, the livery is just going to accentuate that and make it look even worse. Next up, we have aftermarket halos. Dodge guys love these, BMW guys love these, Mustang guys love these, and don't get me wrong, sometimes they're done okay. Mustangs, for example, if you got the demon eye, if it's like a tiny accent to your car that is once again already built right, looks good, aesthetically pleasing, fast, whatever, then sure, maybe think about adding demon eyes. But as for halos, bro, you should not take your completely stock E46 and toss RGB halos in there. You just should not. There was a tweet going around recently that said abolish all like aftermarket light modifications. Some aftermarket headlights and taillights look wonderful, some are eBay and look like shit. As for halos, chances are if you add them to your build, it's just not gonna look right, and once again will probably be associated with the lesser quality build. You're gonna watch a video, you're gonna see them put them in the oven, take the headlight apart, put in the halos, wire them in, glue it back together, and bam, they're done. No leaks, no issues until you try it. Now, if you want to learn how to fabricate headlights, go for it, but I wouldn't start with halos. On to our last honorable mention for mods we need to leave in 2022, big wings and canards. Again, if you got a race car, if you got a car you're trying to hit the track in, trying to handle, trying to improve that downforce, go get yourself a giant wing. Don't install it backwards and you'll be all right. Canards, same thing, dude. Leave the ABS garden plastic alone. Go get some aero. Go hit up Infamous Aero. Go hit up Infamous Aero, bro. If you want some real aero, highly recommend them. But put the ABS plastic down, leave the garden wall plastic at Lowe's, and if you're gonna do aero or big wings, just do it right. I must say, I looked at a BCL wing, Big Country Labs wing for the E90 because I saw another one that was static and crazy from like 2014. But again, just on 99% of vehicles, you're not gonna want a giant ass wing or fake canards. A lot of times less is more. It took me a long time to learn that, and I'd like to pass that on to you guys as well. Now listen, if we see all these shit builds and shit mods, there's gonna be people wanting to change that. Don't shit on them, leave your opinions to yourself and build your own car, focus on you. Like I said, there are gonna be people wondering how to get to the next step, how to get to a cleaner car, how to get to a better quality build. I'm gonna push you guys, let's stop gatekeeping real parts. If you have cool parts on your car, if you have real parts on your car, please be willing to share that with others who are trying to learn about this and build a better car. Now, if you are someone who wants to reach out to somebody else regarding their car, regarding their wheels, just a tip, it is a wonderful idea to talk to them first. Get to know them as a person a little bit, engage with them. But a lot of times what I've seen is people just reach out, yo, what are your wheel specs? And somebody with their wheel specs, it might have taken them months to get those wheels fitted properly and get the fitment they want. This is another topic altogether, but stance takes so much more than coils and wheels. But if you're gonna reach out to somebody, talk to them, engage with them genuinely, and do a little research yourself first. That's one of the biggest pet peeves of people with nicer builds, nicer mods. When somebody is reaching out to them, a lot of the times, that's the first place they'll go. While I get it, more people should be open to sharing. A lot of people just aren't. I would advise you to do a little research on your own, have an idea of what you're talking about, and then go find out more from other people or builds you look up to. The hate isn't worth it. If you're on the side of having a nice car, if you're fortunate enough to have a nice car, to have the knowledge of building a nice car, just leave the hate in 2022. But honestly, if it's not your car, you don't need to worry about it. So that is it for the mods we need to leave in 2022. Please let me know if you guys feel I've missed any. Leave them down in the comments below. Moonstruck shirts are all 50% off. I'm trying to clear them out, so go check those out as well. Be sure to like, share, subscribe for more. Let's make 2023 a good year, both here on YouTube and in all of our lives personally. Leave the hate, be positive, do what makes you happy, and I will see you guys in the next video.